Hi, it is September 26th. Amazingly enough, 4 days left? 5 if you count today, I think. Anyway, it is amazing to me how fast time flies. But the world just keeps spinning as the world turns. I really don't remember that show much, but I remember the name. And I am having a problem with water escaping my body because I decided to drink coffee. And it goes in hot, and it just makes me even hotter. I decided I better take my pills. Among them is the turmeric, whatever. I finally got some. I'm trying to figure out what goes on that over-the-counter benefits. You know, there's like a few days left and I need to use my benefits, so I'm not quite sure everything it'll cover. But I need to go to the store and make sure I use them so I don't lose them. Kind of like your body and your muscles and all that stuff. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's what they say. And basically it's the truth. I can testify. I watched my parents and I'm watching myself. I've got to get up and move around. And I am doing it. I noticed yesterday that my legs felt stronger. That's exciting because, boy, they really felt weak there for a while. That was so scary. So I still have a little weakness in it, but I walked really well yesterday. Yesterday I went to the doctor, had my treatment, and then I went over to Walmart because it's right in the same neck of the woods. Okay, so like now I'm home, Walmart's a ways away, but it's really not that far. I have to think about that because it really isn't. I took that trip to the doctor's office yesterday, or the treatment center, whatever. It's all in the same place. Oh, I'm sweating. Anyway, the point was I went over to the doctor's place yesterday, and it's quite a ways away compared to really what I thought. But Walmart is only half of that distance, so it's not so bad. I want materials, but they don't have what I want in the store, so I've got to do the looking online. I thought I had it set up where I was going to get some from a lady, but either I've lost her or maybe she just decided to not worry about it. So I will try one more time, but I'm not going to worry about it. The thing is, that is the best way. Not the best way, excuse me, but there are people throwing clothes away every day. Or donating them to Goodwill, and then Goodwill throws them away. Because that's what I've heard they do. I mean, you know. So say you got a piece of clothing and it's got stains on it. Well, we can cut around those stains. Because what I want to do is cut the material apart and make quilting squares. And with jeans, I'm thinking I might make purses. I don't know. But I'm going to do something. I used to sew and so I guess it's time to get back into it. Give myself something good to do. This time of year, people are making things. They've been making things all year long, really. Those who go to craft shows, you got to have enough stuff to sell in case somebody wants it. And the idea is to have something that they want. Because otherwise you're spinning your wheels for no reason at all. Myself, I'm just trying to make it through this time and keep my mind busy And you guys have been a big part of that. I would not have made it this far without my channel. One more. One more capsule. And what this is a liver detox. So hey, I think it'll detox me. Well, I guess I'll give you guys an update. It's kind of a strange update. So, don't do what I did with the ivermectin. I mean, I don't know for a fact, okay, but I took that liquid ivermectin 14 days in a row. And that's something you only give your animals once every 6 months or every year. Excuse me. I hate that, but I can't stand a wet nose. And here I got it again. So, I might just have to shut her down and start over. Because I have to attend to my nose. There is this pause button. I need to remember to use it. Okay, people. I'm going to pause. I tried that pause button. I forgot that that was there. I cannot stand a wet nose. I had to get rid of that. And now all it is just a little bit of clear liquidy stuff. Not a whole lot. Just enough to bug you. So I be bugged. And I'm being debugged. All right. I don't know where I left off. I was moving my thing around. Sorry. I was telling you I had an update. I think I was telling you that. Okay. So I took that wormer 14 days in a row. And that was after a month of not taking anything. And before that, I was using the paste, which is really a gel. It's a yellow looking gel. So anyway, this has been more intense. And things started happening. I'm not really quite sure, but I'm kind of sure. It's going to sound a little gross. So I have to figure out a better way to say it. It's not funny. And you guys really should know, I guess. What I would think is that I must have had worms. Because stuff is coming out that is not poop. And in my mind's eye, it could be dead worms. Just this stuff. But, I mean, it's been how many days? Today's the 26th. 14 and 14 is 28. Okay. So I took it the first 14 days of the month. And on the 28th, it'll be like another 14 added. And there's still things happening. I mean, strange things are afoot. But I'm hoping and praying that that's what that is. And it's got to come out. It's got to go out somehow, and it's not part of my poop. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, I'm going to just hope and pray that that's what that is. It's coming out, man. So I don't want them to stay in there. So if we have worms, we kill them. We don't want them to stay in there. They got to come out, right? I'm just hoping it quits before long. Okay, that's enough of that noise. I'm just saying, people, if you were going to take ivermectin, I wouldn't take it 14 days in a row. Now, I haven't talked to my cousin to see how many days she took it in a row and if she actually took it 2 times a day. And what did it do for her? I mean, Did she have stuff coming out like that too? I know she was taking it more for precautionary measure. The ivermectin she was taking if she had a virus. And she said every once in a while she does it anyway because she eats foods that generate parasites. So we want to get rid of them. Myself, I really want to get rid of them. I have things to do. I want to kick this cancer in the butt. I don't want to leave this world yet, because I got things going on here. Things that are very important that I need to partake of. I keep using that word, partake. It's a good word. Like, I want to partake of love. I want to partake of love making. Making love. Say that backwards, say that forwards. I want to partake of a special love. And then maybe I might want to partake of this world, the beauties that are around everywhere. There's great things out there. Nature. Mother Nature. And actually, if you look at it, it's God's creations. So he's at the head of it. I still got a wet nose. Kind of like a dog. I guess I'm healthy. Maybe that's a good sign. So I went to the doctor, I went to Walmart, and I didn't have my head on straight because there's only like 4 days left and I've got to go use my over-the-counter benefits or I'm going to lose them. It's not right. If you have the benefits, it should spread over to the next month and over to the next month. You shouldn't have to lose them if you don't use them. But I've got to figure out what it is I can get with them so that I do the best. So that's my problem, is I just can't make myself spend money when I know that they're crazy in price. Okay, so like, just saying, Walgreens. Walgreens is just up the road a mile. And I can go over there and use my benefits if I knew what to get and stuff. But the prices are high, and I hate wasting money. But if I don't get over to Walmart, I won't be using it, and then I'll be really wasting money. So it's all on how you look at it, isn't it? I've been looking at tutorials, sew and sell, getting some ideas, and really got some good ideas. And I'm just not sure. I mean, the other thing, the medicine bags that I want to do, that's just something in my own head that I've wanted to do for a long time. And I don't know a lot about the power stones, so I might have to do some research. But maybe I'll just sell the bags and not the stones, and you can get your own stones. However, I should have an array of stones. I want the protection one, I want the love one, and I don't know what the other ones are, what they mean. But I know that rose quartz is love. And I thought, I'm just not really quite sure, that tiger's eye is for protection. Now the reason I got that was from Practical Magic. When Nicole Kidman, is that how you say her name? When she was trying to get away from that guy, she was looking for her tiger's eye for protection. So maybe I should look it up, make sure, because you never know what you see in the movies if it's true. But nevertheless, power stones. So I guess I have some things to learn, right? I don't think Jesus worried about power stones, but see, he had all that power. And still kind of see. I don't know how to talk about that, so I won't. I've got friends I don't want to offend. However, like I was saying the other day, witchcraft is real, okay? And the power out there is real. But what the scriptures tell you is to stay away from, I don't know if they use the word magic, but stay away from sorcery and witchcraft and stuff. You're leading yourself into some trouble. Just a word of warning. But we can think of it as harmless. Having power stones in a necklace. Medicine bag. I want to make medicine bags. So what kind of medicine we going to put in there? Something to make us happy. Wouldn't that be lovely? So maybe that would be the love power stones, the rose quartz. I'll have to talk to my friend, but actually I guess online will tell you everything, right? Just put a question and there comes your answer. Pretty amazing, really. So yesterday I got a phone call. Because I had a doctor's visit with a different doctor, my primary care, and they make you fill out this questionnaire, and they wanted to know about this and that and the other thing. Anyway, so they called me, and they offered me some help, whereas in food. Okay, so she gave me a couple, 3 places that give food away, and that have bagged lunch. I'm not sure what the whole deal was, and I left it downstairs, but anyway, I've got some places to go and check and see what do they have, you know, like food pantries and stuff that could help us out. Food is so expensive. Everything is so expensive, it's crazy. But anyway, I've done and said what I needed to say. Not really. I don't really want to put on my glasses, but maybe I'll have something I need to look at. Durst not utter against him, wherefore they did as he commanded. This is 1 Nephi 2. 1 Nephi chapter 2. Lehi takes his family into the wilderness by the Red Sea. They leave their property. Lehi offers a sacrifice to the Lord and teaches his sons to keep the commandments. Laman and Lemuel murmur against their father. Nephi is obedient and prays in faith. The Lord speaks to him, and he is chosen to rule over his brethren. About 600 BC. Wondering how many verses there are, and oh, it's only 24. I know you guys get tired. I mean, I figured you get tired of me reading, but hopefully maybe I'll hit the right people and those people won't feel that way. All right, I'm going to read it. I'm going to do it. Okay, so I read the synopsis. Verse 1. For behold, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto my father, yea, even in a dream, and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Lehi, because of the things which thou hast done, and because thou hast been faithful and declared unto this people the things which I commanded thee. Behold, they seek to take away thy life. That said, the Lord said it. Okay. And it came to pass that the Lord commanded my father, even in a dream, that he should take his family and depart into the wilderness. And it came to pass that he was obedient unto the word of the Lord. Wherefore he did as the Lord commanded him. And it came to pass that he departed into the wilderness, and he left his house and the land of his inheritance, and his gold, and his silver, and his precious things, and took nothing with him save it were his family, and provisions, and tents, and departed into the wilderness. And he came down by the borders near the shore of the Red Sea, and he traveled in the wilderness in the borders which are nearer the Red Sea, and he did travel in the wilderness with his family, which consisted of my mother, Sariah, and my elder brothers, who were Laman, Lemuel, and Sam. And it came to pass that when he had traveled 3 days in the wilderness, he pitched his tent in a valley by the side of a river of water. And it came to pass that he built an altar of stones and made an offering unto the Lord. He gave thanks unto the Lord our God. And it came to pass that he called the name of the river Laman, and it emptied into the Red Sea. And the valley and the valley was in the borders near the mouth thereof. Come on, get up there. And when my father saw that the waters of the river emptied into the fountain of the Red Sea, he spake unto Laman, saying, okay, I got it wrong. Oh, that thou mightest be like unto this valley, firm and steadfast and immovable in keeping the commandments of the Lord. Now this he spake because of the stiff-neckedness of Laman and Lemuel. For behold, they did murmur in many things against their father, because he was a visionary man, and he had led them out of the land of Jerusalem to leave the land of their inheritance, and their gold, and their silver, and their precious things, to perish in the wilderness. And this they said he had done because of the foolish imaginations of his heart. And thus Laman and Lemuel, being the eldest, did murmur against their father. And they did murmur because they knew not the dealings of they knew not the dealings of that God who had created them. Neither did they believe that Jerusalem, that great city, could be destroyed according to the words of the prophets. And they were like unto the Jews who were at Jerusalem, who sought to take away the life of my father. And it came to pass that my father did speak unto them in the valley of Lemuel with power, being filled with the Spirit, until their frames did shake before him. And he did confound them, that they durst not utter against him. Wherefore they did as he commanded them. And my father dwelt in a tent. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, being exceedingly young, nevertheless being large in stature, and also having great desires to know the mysteries of God, wherefore I did cry unto the Lord. And behold, he did visit me, and did soften my heart, that I did believe all the words which had been spoken by my father. Wherefore I did not rebel against him like unto my brothers. And I spake unto Sam, making known unto him the things which the Lord had manifested unto me by his Holy Spirit. And it came to pass that he believed in my words. But behold, Laman and Lemuel would not hearken unto my words, and being grieved because of the hardness of their hearts, I cried unto the Lord for them. And it came to pass that the Lord spake unto me, saying, Blessed art thou, Nephi, because of thy faith, for thou hast sought me diligently with lowliness of heart. And inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, ye shall prosper, and shall be led to a land of promise, yea, even a land which I have prepared for you, yea, a land which is choice above all other lands. And inasmuch as thy brethren shall rebel against thee, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord. And inasmuch as thou shalt keep my commandments, thou shalt be made a ruler and a teacher over thy brethren. For behold, in that day that they shall rebel against me, I will curse them even with a sore curse, and they shall have no power over thy seed, except they shall rebel against me also, meaning the seed, which means his children. And if it so be that they rebel against me, they shall be a scourge unto thy seed, to stir them up in the ways of remembrance. Okay, so they're talking about a sore curse, but he ain't told you what the curse is yet, has he? Now, I don't know if, I know I must have read the first chapter to you guys before. So first Nephi. I know I had to have read it. But I don't want to. It's just neat, guys. When you're reading in the scriptures, what do you see? Angels. Angels be talking to us. The Lord is talking to us. Of course, it's not just us. It's the men of God. Okay. So at that point in time, Lehi was his guy. He might have had some other guys too, because they say that there were many prophets at the same time even. And what they were talking about was men of God. Men who taught truth. And they probably had visions too. And I've told you before, I've had a vision. So, visions come in all kinds of different ways. I mean, I think you can see something right in front of your face and really not know what it means. But I've had visions and dreams. The main vision I had, I've told you guys about, and it had to do with trying to understand how God made this world. And not just how he did it, but how are we going to do it? It's just too much for me to even comprehend. So, I've told about that dream. And I learned a lot in that dream. But I had been searching. I mean, really, literally, studying, praying, wanting to know. And it probably sounds really ridiculous for me to want to know. How did God do that? What does it matter, right? But the point is, one day, if we attain, we'll be doing the same thing. So I wanted to know how. How in the world am I going to be able to create a world? And I would be doing it with my husband, not by myself. I mean, I don't know that you create a world until you get to the top of the top. You got to have your mate to get there, I think. Okay, I could be wrong. But I think that's the whole deal. Is we're supposed to become like mother and father in heaven. To become one. your mission is the same. You have different parts to play. Like as in, he's the protector and the provider and the spiritual head of your family when you're on earth. Well, I don't know what's going to be going on up there. But I do know that in my dream, I had graduated. I had graduated and I was headed into the celestial kingdom. And I received my tiny white stone. And the minute it touched my hand, I knew everything. I don't know how to explain that. But I knew everything there was to know. So, my point is, by the time I got done and got to thinking about my dream and stuff, I received a lot of information. Because see, that tiny white stone touching my hand, and then I knew everything. So I think that tiny white stone is kind of programmed with what we need. We just have to attain it. We have to do our best, and the Lord will do the rest. That's my dad's expression, but it's true. You do your best. If you do your best, you can graduate and go into the celestial kingdom. And then with that stone, you'll know everything. Plus, you'll be able to create your own world. That is going to be your world, that stone. And I need to look up all those verses. I don't know where I found them all, okay? But I did read that in different places. And I've said it just recently, maybe yesterday. I don't know when the last time I did a video, but God lives on a sea of glass. And it said that he took knowledge. He got knowledge up through the ground, okay, the sea of glass, about all his creations, which are many. So I don't know, don't know how they did that, but here's the deal. We don't got to figure it out. Just know that it's real and it's possible. And guess what? You need to learn about it. You might just be creating a world one of these days. I know I'm being silly. Oh, so much to do. So I've already read. I read chapter 2 of 1st Nephi. It's making me want to read the first chapter, but I know I've done all these things. Okay, so we're talking about the Book of Mormon. Okay, this is Nephi is the first one to write in the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon that we have. Because there was a Book of Lehi, but kind of fell into the wrong hands, and so they decided to just seal it up so that nothing could be can't think of my right words, but things can't get in the way of saying it was true, because someone could have tampered with the words or this or that, and so it just took the integrity right out of it by it getting into the wrong hands. Just kind of like the Bible, as they were translating and deciding what gets to go into it and stuff and what they kept out. And then not knowing the translations and stuff, okay? I imagine it was quite a job. All right. I know I've read it, so I'm not going to worry about it. You know what song's playing in my head, don't you? I've been singing it and singing it and singing it and singing it. I lay my love on you, it's all I wanna do. Every time I breathe, I feel brand new. You opened up my heart, gave me all your love, and walked right through. As I lay my love on you. Okay, enough of that. But that's in my head. I keep hearing it on these reels that I've been listening to. And so it just sticks in my head. There I go. Let's see, where are we at? 36 minutes. Maybe I'll stop, huh? I'm finding that I need to go. That's the thing. The stuff that's coming out. I gotta get to a bathroom. So it's probably a good idea to stay close to home. So anyway, we will hope that those are dead worms and they're getting out of my body and I'm gonna be all better. And thank you, David, for that information. David is 20 years old. He has leukemia. He's a Canadian. And his doctor up there has got him taking ivermectin. But I imagine in a pill form. Maybe it's not quite as intrusive as what I've done to myself. But I was glad to hear that a doctor was giving a cancer patient ivermectin. Gives me hope. It's not just me. Because you know these doctors here ain't going to tell you nothing. Even if they know it, they're not going to tell you. I mean, I asked my doctor about it, one of them. I don't have any problem with you taking ivermectin. But I cannot give you a prescription. That's the only way you can get it. I mean, I went into Walmart and asked the pharmacist, can I get some ivermectin? Where can I get it? Do you have a prescription? No, I don't. Well, you can't have it then. So guess what? I went to a feed store. I happen to know about feed stores because I had cows. Anyway, Tractor Supply is where I got the liquid ivermectin. It's injectable. But what me and my cousin did, my cousin's the one who told me she was taking it, okay, and she told me where to get it. She was putting it in her drink. She just drew up a mill in a syringe and then put it in her drink. So I did that. But I know I went overboard. I think there should be like a dosing or something. I mean, it would be better if we got a little help from our damn doctors, but oh no. You know, those cancer doctors, what are they told? What are they trained with? I mean, I've heard it before. I don't know all the words. So you got diagnosis, then you got surgery, and you've got chemo and radiation. That's what they want you to do. That's all they do. They don't want you to have any vitamins or anything good for you while you're trying to kill yourself. Because that is what chemotherapy is doing. It's killing you and the cancer. Okay? And hopefully you'll get brought back before lights are out. You know, before it's lights out at night. Like that thing that they say, you can only do your work during the day, and someday comes the night, and in the night you cannot. do anything. It's because you don't have your body anymore. It's because you have died and gone on. And the work you need to do is in the physical body, and it's here. So we need to get on the stick. And I definitely need to get on the stick. I thought I was going to have me a bunch of material. And it might be that she's just going through everything because she's got to clean out an attic and a basement. I need to try to find her because I could actually offer to help her go through stuff. But anyway, I lay my love on you. Okay, so that song is talking about a different one, different type of love, but that is what I'm trying to do. Lay my love on you so that you can in turn, first of all, feel good, be uplifted, realize who you are and how important you are. Everyone. There is a plan. We all fit in. Male and female created he them. Those are my words in a poem type thing that I wrote. I started this channel so I could put my papers out there. Their analogies, their theology, theories, beliefs, my beliefs, and then my religion, because that's where my beliefs came from, right? And I totally know that it's real. It's not a bunch of hooey-dooey or hooey-looey. I would just suggest you people that if you are interested in learning and you haven't been, and you don't have the resources, but you have the internet, then get on LDS.org, www.lds.org, www.lds.org, or www.mormon, mormon.org. You will learn a lot. And like I'm on an app that's called Gospel Library. Okay, so in that app there's just all kinds of things. There are videos, there are the scriptures that you can read or it will read it to you. But ordinances and proclamations, Bible videos, Book of Mormon videos, scripture studies, scripture stories, scripture helps, scripture study ideas. And then there's the thing that says about the scriptures. Anyway, it's pretty wonderful stuff. And then, like over here, when I hit on the bookshelf, it comes up and there's Jesus Christ. That's the very first thing that pops up across the board. Scriptures, it shows all, you tap on that and you've got all the scriptures. And then there's General Conference. And then there's Come Follow Me, which is the manual that they teach out of. And then there's music, handbooks and callings, and magazines, books and lessons, topics and questions, church history, videos and images, children, youth, adults, life help, caring for those in need, sharing the gospel, temple and family history, archived content. Lay my love on you. Things are happening around the world. And really there's good things happening too around the world. Because we have missionaries everywhere. Everywhere that the government And I'm not talking about our government. I'm talking about other places. China, Korea. I'm just naming things. Puerto Rico. All places around the world that will let us in have the opportunity to learn. But here's the thing. If they won't let us in physically and you have the internet, there you are. Freedom! Freedom! Freedom to learn. Freedom to choose. To have the option. There's a lot of people in the dark, meaning they don't know. Nor do they get the option to learn unless someone brings it to them. And especially if they're in the jungle or if they're living in a cave. Just saying, people, we all have our work to do. Right now, mine is getting rid of this cancer. And I do feel pretty good about that. And yeah. That stuff that's coming out, it's got to be stuff that's hanging on the sides of my intestines, probably, things that's been there for a long time. You would think you would feel worms in there moving around and stuff, but maybe you don't. Maybe it's microscopic. I don't know. All I know is I need to get up, take a shower, get ready. I'm going to go meet my granddaughter, my great-granddaughter, this afternoon when Jesse gets off work. This new precious soul that's come into our life. And Leah just had a new grandbaby. See, mine's a great-grandbaby. That Leah's is just first level. First, I guess level would be right. But you know what I mean, in the way of cousins and in the way of grandkids. I have 5 grandkids and now I have 1 great grandchild. And things could just, you never know when all those children, all those spirits that are waiting to come down here, maybe something converges on my grandgirls. Carly and Madison. You never know when they might have a baby. And then Kevin, he's over in the service, so I don't know what's going to happen with him in that regard. He's busy. He's busy learning, and he's going to be a medic, and I guess he's already learned how to do that. But super cool, super keen. Love to us all. And let us help to share the love with others. So many downtrodden people. You know, when you hear that word downtrodden, you don't think about the fact that they were trodden down. It's not funny. I was just thinking about, it's really not funny when I think about that. Those wars that I told you guys about that were in the Book of Mormon and the Book of Moroni. See, those are 2 little teeny books in the back of the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon is comprised of 15 different parts. But the war that was going on between the Lamanites and the Nephites at the end, and what they did, and you realize Laman is the eldest brother, and Nephi is the youngest of those first 4, okay? And here we are, 1,000 years later, after they've left Jerusalem. They hate each other. I shouldn't say that. The Lamanites hate the Nephites. Okay? So the followers of Laman, followers of Nephi. And in the meantime, this is generations and generations and generations of hatred, okay? And so this war, this war that's in those two books that I was talking about, was about the annihilation of the Nephites. Now see, the Lamanites, there were different tribes, okay? So there was the Lamanites, and then there were like other tribes that joined in with the Lamanites. And then there were other tribes that joined in with the Nephites. So there were just the two groups. Well, they said that the Lamanites had so many people that they just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. They trodden down those people and realized they're fighting with swords and whatever else. Not guns, not bullets. So it's really quite intense, the horribleness of what's going on. And Moroni, the one who showed Joseph where the record was, is the last one who wrote in the record. And he was also the last Nephite to be alive. I don't know how long he made it before he went and hit up the records and succumbed to death. Meaning any Nephite that was found was killed. There was no surrender and we'll feed you. Because that's what jail is, Put them in jail. And that's feed them for the rest of their life. That's this day and time, okay? You got these murderers caught in the act. And what? Do they still get to go to jail and we get to feed them for who knows how long? Do they really deserve a respite? No. Depends on the situation. If you are killing because it's kill or be killed, well, that's different. Right? Because you deserve to be able to protect yourself. But there are people out there doing horrible things and actually caught doing it because there's cameras everywhere. And then they still get to sit around. We get to take care of them. And then one day let them out to do it again. I gotta go. I will talk to you guys later. It's actually just they're just telling me that there's some stuff. In other words, there's a dispensary, and my granddaughter had a medical card for that, but I think she let it lapse because she quit. Amazingly enough, she quit smoking pot. So I'm proud of her. Not always easy to give things up. Depends on your situation. I was always basically alone, and it was my friend. I found it comforting. I found it exciting. My mind would trip, learn things. And I know I've talked about some weird stuff, but it is pretty bad. In the back of the Book of Mormon, those two books is all about the Lamanites fighting the Nephites. And in the end, there was just mass slaughter. Thousands and thousands a day. I would almost want to say, in my head, I'm trying to think, it seems like even 100,000 in a day, because there were several groups of 10,000 each that lay on the ground. So that's something to read. I don't really want to read it again. So if you want to hear me read it, or if you just want to get on the gospel library, then go to the Book of Mormon, and then go inside the Book of Mormon. They'll give you a list of chapters, or not chapters, books. There's a list of books, and then in those books is a list of chapters. And so it would be in the very end. It would be the Book of Mormon, which is, I know it's confusing, and I never knew all this stuff, okay? I just thought the Book of Mormon was just one book. It's 15 books. Even if a book is just one chapter, some of it was just one chapter. But, you know, I've got things in my head, and you people wouldn't want to hear it. I'm just saying, everybody's all worried about the Indians. They were the people here, okay? But guess what? They came from that family that left Jerusalem 600 years before, and they are cursed. The Indians, the red skin is a curse of savagery, and they killed all the white people, okay? So that's why there was only Indians here when we came. So they came from Jerusalem. Just because they came over here and settled and they killed all the white people and they were the only ones left. I'm just saying, there's a different way to look at all that. Everybody's all worried. Well, this is the promised land. This is the land they were talking about. It's the land of milk and honey. It's the land that's above all others. And it is a land for God's chosen people. And I'm not talking about Jews. Because they thought they were chosen. You know, but they were chosen. They were chosen to teach. The reason Abraham's seed is going to help the world is because we're going to teach you guys. We're going to share the word. We're going to share the truth that you haven't had. It's going to take all of us. Just look at how many people there are. I don't know how many people there are, but I know there's 17 million members of the church now. I think that's just wonderful. Supercalifragilistic. Anyway, it's a wonderful day. We should appreciate our lives and do the best we can with what we got. I love you people, and I do. I need to get busy. I need to find that woman, see if I can help her out. Maybe I can go help her go through the attic in the basement. I don't know whereabouts she is, and I don't know where she actually lives, because she wasn't going to be in town until Wednesday. So maybe I need to look that up, because I did get a phone call from somebody in Denver, and I didn't answer it. You never know, that might have been her. So, you guys take care. I'm just about done. In other words, it's just about an hour. I did good yesterday at Walmart, and then I was up on my feet walking around the store with a cart, but I was getting some mobility in. And I have noticed that my legs are feeling better. They're not all the way better, but they're a lot better than they were. So, cheers to everyone. You guys have a great day and a great weekend. And love your family and love your fellow man. And that means women too, because that's what man is. It's mankind. And follow that advice. Be kind. All right, guys. Take care.